Lee Archer. In some parts of the country, I am known as the Tennessee Horse Whisperer. The most faithful back here is Smokey Joe. And as I always say, be true to the horse, they'll be true to you, and first and foremost, be true to yourself.
Go ahead, I'm filming.
Alright, welcome back to True to Horse Horsemanship. We're here at Snow Creek Farms in Santa Fe, Tennessee. And don't say Santa Fe because they'll get you. Even though they're both spelled the same. So we have, how old is he again, Paul? Who knows?
No, where's his pipe?
Hell, I've been,
I'll go get his pipe.
it doesn't really matter. We're going to say approximately 18-year-old horse. I sort of halter broke him way back when he was a 2-year-old. So it's been a few years. So we're over here today to hopefully get a halter on him and play with him a little bit. With him, I'm going to try my clicker first and see how it goes. And the clicker is just pressure release. When I'm engaging the whip, I'm not hitting this horse. This horse will move out. And if he didn't move out, that means I wouldn't have to have the clicker anyway. So I'm just going to go in here. Now when he turns away from me, I'm just going to agitate him a little bit and click. And every time he looks at me, I'm going to take the pressure off of him. Now you'll see me try to approach him. If he reacts negative, then I'm going to get back in here. There we go, good boy. Now I'm just going to try to work him back and forth on this rail. I want his focus on me. Every time he turns away, that's when I'm going to click. Good boy. Right there, I'm going to walk away from him. He's asking for me to do something to him, touch him. You're not going to see me do the Robert Redford thing, I call it. Say, here, horsey, smell my hand. I want him to come up to me and get a good sniff. Right there, he came up. He got a good smell of me. Good boy. Now to me, right there was still a good thing because I was able to bring him up. Right now I just want him to get up to me and stay up there. But I'm not going to retreat when he's pushing on my hand either. I'll retreat when he'll relax and I can pet on his jaw. There we go. Like right there, he's leaning, so I keep my hand there. I keep it. And you'll see right there, his head's straightened out. And then I go pat him on the jaw. And then we back away. I'm going to back away again. Good, there we go. Now right there, you know, I could do one or two things, and I decided just to stand here for a second, give him a chance. Now, I know he's liable to try to shoot past me, but it's no biggie. One click. Now as soon as he took that step, I took one step over here. Because horses are pretty simple-minded. So if I can block him when he's stepping forward, if I do it often enough, the horse thinks he's going to be walking towards me. So I'm using a negative reaction and turn that negative into a positive. Right there, he's pushing in my hand. And I know the camera's probably not picking up his eye, but I'll really see the white of his eye. And when I don't see that white, that's when I go scratch him on his jaw. Like right there, see the white? I'm just going to keep my hand there. Now you see less and less white. And you notice at the same time you see less and less white, like right there, you see more white. Now you see less white. Now I scratch. I mean, that is a prime example. Talking about it, seeing the white of the eyes, as the old saying goes. So now I'm going to back away from him. Let him come up to me again. Today's Tuesday, Friday, 2 days. Now, well, I'm going to suggest Paul and Aretha, I come over here Friday. Are y'all going to be around Friday?
As far as I know.
You can come around Friday afternoon. Because I like to do this about 2 more times with him. And then if I feel like I got to drop a rope on him, he's going to be relaxed enough with me, he's not going to hurt himself. But right now I got him coming up to me and there. Get up here. There we go. Don't get too comfortable. That's the problem with an older horse like this, and him have all his body parts. He can start getting too comfortable with me. At this stage of the game. So what I mean by that, he gets comfortable enough that instead of fleeing away from me, he can start challenging me more. And he's a brute. There we go, that's a good place. So, here's an older horse, stud horse, 15 years old. His halter broke, it just was a couple years. But life goes by pretty quick. The older you get, you find out, the quicker it goes by. But, so I'm going to make arrangements so I come back over here Friday. We'll start with this, and that episode I will get a halter on him. And if I feel like I got to drop a rope on him, I will, but I have a long enough rope that I'm not going to choke him down. All I'm going to use that rope is keeping him look at me, look at me, look at me. Because he's had a few years evading people. Time over here in Santa Fe, this 15-year-old stud. And what we're going to start off with is just where we ended up with the clicker. And petting on him. I mean, always going to go back to where we finished off at. Good boy. So we're just going to work with this a little bit more. I want him to follow me. And now, for the most part, all I gotta do is click. I don't have to bring the whip in. Now, in normal circumstances, a horse like him, I'd keep doing this until I don't even need a clicker. He just starts following me. Good boy. You notice I'm letting him come up all the way to me. There. Now that's nice. He's looking for that rub. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, I know this horse. I knew him when he was a weanling, and he was a little poop. So, he hasn't been messed with since then. So he's still going to be a little turd. So I got to really be careful how I approach him. Like if I try to start rubbing him with a rope, before I put a halter on, he's liable to strike out or bite. So this one time I might use my lariat, just get him used to something around his neck. I'm in a smaller area where I don't have to choke him down. I had back at that time a clicker with the whip because he wasn't following me. Now what I can do, see, he hasn't been handled so much. Now some tools I can't use. Now he's up my butt. So I can use my long line and I'll just start throwing over his neck, letting him set. So he gets used to it. Good boy. Yeah, because right here I'm in a close-up area, so while there we go. And I can use my whip. I just got to make sure I got a way out, let him know he's got a way out.
Using the whip to bring them up to you, and now you're using it differently. Is that
I'm not using clicker. That's a good question. Hey, Doretha, you come on in. I'm not using the clicker. Okay? So that's a good question. So, yeah, you come on across over here. It's not going to bother him. I mean, you ought to see the big change in him. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to get my hand up here so you can see it. Of course, right now, see, we're in a nice position, but a bad position. He's starting to look for me for help, but on the other hand, you know, there. Now, Cindy asked a very good question, and I sort of halfway explained why I was doing it. She said, well, you know, now I'm throwing a whip over his back, and I don't want him to move. I am not bringing the clicker in. That's the whole thing. And I'm going over his back. So we walk away, and I click. Now he's not coming. So yes, that's when I'll bring him up here. Now the difference now, the other day when I did it, he would bolt all over the place. But today he's just coming forward to me. And now, right there I clicked, he heard it, but y'all didn't hear it. So now he feels threatened a little bit with a whip over his back. Instead of him fleeing away from me, you know, this is where I got to be careful so I don't get run over, because he's like, oh, David's safe, so I'm going to get over here by David so David will pet on me. So we back away, let him come up, back away. Gonna pet on him. Good boy. That's my boy. That's my man. There you go. Good boy. So now I'm just going to get away from him, retreat. Big difference. So I'm going to set up and decide which way to do, so stay tuned for ways. I started with a whip, but since I got an ideal area to work this with, but I'm going to use my lariat, and I could have, I choose not to rope them. I could have, but it would have took me three loops before I would have caught them, so it's easier for me just to work around it. But I'm using my 30-foot rope. It's long enough where I won't choke them down. Good boy. And I don't have it rigged up like regular going through the hondo. I got my heavy clasps on the end of it. So that way, in his case, it's not that big of a deal. Of course, right now I got to get it untwisted. But if he lowers his head, I could shake it and it would fall off. And plus, with the advantage of this, it's just a lot easier to undo it if I had to, instead of trying to get it. So it's been a long time since he's been led. There we go. So just like any horse, it doesn't matter, yearling, he comes forward, I release the pressure. It's that simple. But I'm going to go to that hip. Move that hip, again move forward, and we walk forward. Good boy. Well, he remembers that for the most part. Somebody did a decent job halter breaking him. I don't know, Doretha. Some little skinny guy had more teeth back then. And I said teeth. I didn't say the other word. It sounded like I said something. Good. Now here, right there is resistance. But I'm just holding it. I just got a steady pressure on. I wish there's a way y'all could feel that. But I just got a steady. I'm not shutting him down. Let's say he goes to back up. All I would do is keep that steady pressure on him and kept letting the rope go backwards. But I would not release the pressure. I wouldn't be pulling harder and say, get your butt up. I just kept that same steady pressure. So when he did stop and come forward, because if I put more pressure on it when he's trying to back up, he's going to back up faster and be more of a fight. And he's about 1,100 pounds, and me, I'm 160. So I'm not going to win. There we go. So basically from here, it's up to Paul. We talked about it earlier off camera. If you want me to put a halter on him, leave it. Or Paul, if you get him in here and do what I just did, and just drop a rope on him and then put the halter on him, and do it that way too. So that's up to you. And he's not saying nothing. Huh? After the next one?
After back surgery.
Oh, after back surgery? Yeah, you don't want to do nothing. No. So, yeah, we can go ahead and put a halter on him now if you want. Well, this is pretty cut and dry. It's, we're going to slip a halter. He is been halter broke 13 years ago, or better. And I halter broke him actually. That's why I was teasing. And this is how, like him, when I halter broke him, I really got him right to that halter. And now I moved to California in 2000. So, so at least 13 years ago better when it was done. And you notice, with just a little bit of work, he'd be super light again to the halter. So they do retain it, but it's putting the foundation in them. That's the biggest thing. Get that foundation. Don't skip a step until you get one step done. So with that said, we're going to slip a halter on, and he's pretty much done for right now. And because if I have more area, or maybe next time we shoot over here again, work on some other stuff to get him to move that hip and everything else. So, to everybody out there, as I always say, be true to the horse, they'll be true to you. First and foremost, be true to yourself. And my kids and grandkids out there, and special person, yeah, I got everybody. West State Lake, K8, God bless, take care.